Hey guys, welcome. Star Citizen Alpha 4.3.1 went to Wave 1 PTU last night, and today I saw the updated changelog for the Star Citizen Ship Performance Viewer website, and there are a few very interesting changes. Let's take a quick look together. But know this, that these changes are by no means final, but as a matter of fact, it's just a start. But through these changes, we can peek into the direction that things are going. The first interesting but major change is regarding the shield and armor ballistic damage multiplier. First, let's take a look at the armor. As we all know, the armor for the ships are all just, you can say a placeholder, because we're all waiting for the engineering or the ship armor to come into play, which will diversify the ship armor for different size of ships. For example, for capital ships, your size 4 hardpoints and below will be less effective than the size 5 weapons against those capital ships. So the armor will be diversified eventually, but as of right now, they're mostly equalized for all ships. And we just had an adjustment for the armor damage multiplier. So on the changelog, for example, the Aegis Avenger Stalker, the armor damage multiplier physical reduced from 0.5 to 0.4. What does this mean? When it says damage multiplier, it means the damage taken, not damage reduction. For example, one ballistic bullet, which can do alpha damage, let's say 100 hit points. And when that bullet hit the ship, before it will take 50% of the damage, which means the ship armor will take 50 hit points. But right now it's reduced to 0.4, means right now the ship will take only 40% of the damage, which is 40 hit points. So if you go search on this website, Avenger Stalker, now under here, damage modifier, it says physical, here it says negative 60%, which means 60% of the damage is blocked away. And clearly this means that the ballistic is even less effective against the hull, against the armor of the ship. And this happened to 160 ships and vehicles. I think it's almost every single ship. If you go down the list, I've checked, most of them changed to 0.4, but we do have a few exceptions. The arrow, this is one exception, is reduced to 0.35. So the anvil arrow actually has a stronger armor because it can take 65% of the physical or ballistic damage away, which means the armor is strong for the arrow. Wow, very interesting number here. Any other exceptions? Oh, there's a 0.3. Whoa, the Fury has even stronger armor. Let's check the Fury. Yes, it's correct. Damage modifier, it's negative 70%. So if you're shooting at the Fury with the ballistics, 70% of the ballistic damage is taken away when you hit the hull of the ship. Interesting. But of course, as I said earlier, this is by no means final. They are doing some changes right now. More adjustments are coming. Oh, the Razor, 0.25? Wow, the smaller the ship, the stronger the armor. Oh, here's another one. Merlin, 0.25. Am I reading this right? That's crazy. And that's the end of the list. So according to this list, every single ship is 0.4 for the armor damage multiplier. The arrow is 0.35, the Razor 3.5, and the Merlins. Let's check the Merlins and Archimedes. Yes, physical damage modifier is negative 75%. That's crazy. Yeah, very interesting. And by reading this, I don't really know the direction they're going. Maybe there's wrong direction. But of course, this will definitely change. Maybe they're working on some engineering stuff. They're just tweaking stuff, tweaking the numbers as of right now. I'm really looking forward to see the diversified armor to come into play. Now, this is just the armor physical damage modifier. If we look at the shields is 67 changes. The shield's physical absorption has been reduced from 0.3 to 0.2. This is easy to understand. Physical absorption. One ballistic bullet which has 100 hit points alpha damage, hit the shield before it can absorb 30% of the damage, which means the shield will absorb 30 hit points, and then the other 70 hit points will penetrate through the shield and hit the hull, and then will deduct by the armor's physical damage modifier that we talked earlier. But right now, the shield absorption is reduced to 0.2, which means 20 hit points is absorbed on the shield, and 80 hit points go through the shield. So the shield against the ballistics is getting weaker, but the armor is getting stronger. Let's use a number before, 0.3. My ballistic bullet alpha damage 100 hit points, and when that bullet hit the shield, 70 hit points goes through the shield. And then the armor before is 0.48. So 70 times 0.48 is 33.6. And that's the effective, the true damage on the ship, which means 66.4% of the damage is blocked by the shield and the armor's resistance. Now, we go to the changed number. So when this bullet hit the ship, 80 hit points goes through the shield. 20 got blocked. And when that 80 hit points hit the armor, only 0.4 is taking effect. So the true damage right now is 32 hit points on the ship. And 68% is taken away. And compared with the 33.6, it's not significant, but this is just one bullet. So by the math of this, the ballistic weapon is actually getting nerfed a little. If anything, I think the ballistic weapon should be made a little more effective. But right now, with this number, it's less effective. Next change is regarding bombs and missiles. We have a slight adjustment regarding the bomb's explosion proximity. Before, the explosion proximity is 1 meter. Right now, is reduced to 0.5 meter. So you have to get even closer to the impact point in order to make the bomb explode. That includes missiles. But missile also has more changes regarding the minimum and maximum explosion radius. This is a good change. For example, the Arrow 1 missile, the explosion radius has been increased from 0.5 to 1, that's the minimum. The maximum increased from 1 to 2. So right now is between 1 to 2 meters is the Arrow 1 explosion radius. The explosion proximity are reduced to 0.5. I think for every single bomb, I look at the numbers, every single bomb, the explosion proximity is reduced to 0.5. Now, the Bullet 2 missile, size 2 missile, explosion radius has been increased to 1.5 and 2.5. That's good change. The more explosion radius, the more effective the missile, especially at damaging and destroying the ship's components. Now, Chaos 3 missile, size 3, minimum explosion radius 2.5, maximum 3.5, and size 4 missile also increased. So if we look at these missiles, I think they changed the explosion proximity and radius across board for every single missile and bomb and torpedo. So all the size 1 missiles is explosion radius is from 1 to 2, proximity 0.5, and all the size 2 missiles, it's the same radius. It's all equalized. And all the size 3 missiles, 2.5 to 3.5. All the size 4, 2.5 to 5. And all the size 5, 3.5 to 5. Size 7, which is for the ballista, 4.5 to 7. And size 9, 5 meter to 10 meters. This hasn't changed. Size 10, 10 to 25. And size 12, 10 to 30. So that's the missile change. It's a good change. The more explosion radius, the better. Now, next thing is regarding the parallax and quartz energy weapon change. Apparently, they can do distortion damage now. Damage per second, distortion, 50. That's nice. But can we disable humans? Probably not. We can disable components, right? Maybe we can disable ship's components. Now, last thing I found very interesting to see is regarding the Anvil Ballista top turret. The durability health is 200, it's been added. But the damage modifier, there are some words that's very interesting. Physical, energy, distortion, thermal, biochemical, and stun. Why do we have these thermal, I understand, biochemical, and stun? Are we going to have these type of missiles or weapons that can do biochemical damage? Or stun? Stun? Is that distortion or something? But maybe this is part of the engineering, so we shall wait and see. I'm really looking forward to engineering. I think it's gonna come soon, before the end of the year. It's already late than scheduled. So that's it. This is the changelog for the very first 4.3.1 Wave 1 PTU. And looking forward to check out more changes later. Thanks for watching.